And we're live again.
I know.
No one has to know that I messed up the first time.
You're already convinced. You already just announced it. But anyway.
All right, so first, wait a second. Oh my God, this is the most difficult beginning ever. So, here are our babies.
So the last time I was on here was 2 months ago when Nathan stated that we were expecting fur babies.
Children.
Originally it was supposed to be one, and her name was supposed to be Chai.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got convinced to get two. And
Slash finesse.
Named not Chai. So this one here is Matcha, aka Mach Mach.
And this is Pika, aka Peak, Peakers, Peaks,
Go, baby.
Young Peaks.
Yeah.
Poopy. I call them both Poopy because they both shit so much. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable how much they use the bathroom. But anyway.
But they're like
those are our babies.
Old. Yeah.
So we are officially fur parents.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why are you not excited?
I guess.
So they're like 10, 11 weeks old now.
We got them at 6 weeks. So they were itty bitty bitty.
Yes.
They were very little when we got them.
I think they've grown like a fair amount. I don't think that
they've definitely doubled their size.
Well, yeah, when we first got them, they were like
in our palm
size big.
Yeah.
But originally, so you're saying we didn't originally try to get them off of Instagram? That woman has a shelter in Philly. That's where we were going to get them from.
So I was on Pet Finder. So Pet Finder, all these rescues or adoption places, they put up like kittens or anything else. And then from there, you can go ahead and like ask about the kitten that like you're interested in. But normally it's through an agency, not an agency, but like through an adoption place where there's the SPCA or people that do fostering from home. But when you reach out, then it'll go ahead and prompt you to go fill out an application if it's like an organization that does any type of fostering. Those applications are absolutely ridiculous. Like they were
asking like, what's your combined income? No, they asked if you guys break up.
Yeah.
What happens to the cats?
What happens to the cats?
I was like,
are you going to get them? Are you going to get them declawed? Oh, really?
What did you say? What did you put on the application?
Honestly, I was like, Nathan will take the cats.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, that's why we're letting them run around right now. If they're being too loud, then I'll put them in the bedroom. But like the last 3 or 4 podcasts that I've done, I like set it up, and this is the first time. What do you think of the table? I think the table is going to be an excellent add-on.
No, like, it is. It's going to be good.
Sure. But sorry, was it? Oh yeah, with the cables, they love to like eat and destroy anything that like slightly dangles in front of them. That could be anything from like a cheeseburger to this.
They just like to play. They're just in play mode.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we originally were going to get a cat from one of the foster agencies that reached back to me because I'm definitely the type of person like once I have something in my mind like it needs to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm very impatient.
24 hours, but that's it.
I'm very impatient, and I know that about myself. Flaw, I know. But I get things done. So
you do get things done, yes.
So, this lady like reached out to me like ASAP, and originally the one that I was interested in, she had put after I filled out the application, she had let me know like if I didn't already have an existing pet, that they do not allow or they will not sell any kitten without
solo.
Yeah, solo. Like you have to get them in a pair. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I was like, she's trying to finesse me to go ahead and save the world. Yeah, that's kind of
corny, like on the low.
Yeah, I was like, she's trying to just get me to just save the world and save all these cats. And I was like,
double the price.
So I did my research. And it did come to find that cats that normally like are with another cat, like they're just naturally happier. Mm-hmm. And cats can actually get depressed if they're by themselves, especially if their owners are like us. Like we work like 10 to 12 hour days.
Yeah.
So if they're home by themselves for a really long time. So I got suckered.
That does make sense, though.
And then I was like, fine, like, we'll do 2. And then we went through this whole process where the person that I was getting the 2 cats from, I was getting 2 females, And
well, just to put that out there, we wanted 2 females. Like, I
Yeah.
grew up with a female cat. We definitely didn't want a boy and a girl.
No.
And I've just, in my experience, found that female cats are just easier. They just don't spray the same way. Like,
Yeah.
they're a little less territorial, a little more friendly overall. So I was like, if we get
I've
2
never
and they're sisters, like,
had
that's
cats
nice.
before, so I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So we ended up deciding on these 2 kittens that she had that were both females, and we were at that point just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
We were waiting
Which
for
took a really long time.
Yeah.
She was like really annoying with the communication and like was rude over email and stuff. Adriana one night was literally about to swing on this woman, which was granted. But I imagine that she probably has so many cats. She has all these people hitting her up all the time.
And I get that.
Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't mean you get to be like a dick about it, but at the end of the day, I think it worked out for the best.
No, it did. So
because fast forward and you get an email.
Yeah, so basically, this was all during quarantine, obviously, as things were slowly starting to like get back to normal. And I reached out to her one night because for me, 1, I've never had a cat before, and 2, I just want to make sure that I'm like the best for a parent possible.
Yeah.
So
you want to be ready.
I want to be ready.
Stuff you want to buy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just didn't know when to start buying. I didn't know what type of food the kitten was already eating. I didn't know if there was anything specific that I needed to get for them just to make their transition easier. I also didn't have a date.
Yeah.
On when we were going to get them.
She was definitely stringing us along for a while, and it was like, bro, can you give me like a day?
And then she was waiting for them
2
to get
days, 3
spayed and
days.
neutered. She was waiting for them to be 2 pounds. So she said, by the time that they were 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were waiting, and then I didn't hear anything about the spay and neutering. So me, because I'm still working during this quarantine, I'm like, okay, something probably happened. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to her one night and I was like, hey, like, I just want...
Where the fuck are my cats at?
No, I was like, hey, I'm just really curious just because I know that you said, they were going to get spayed and neutered mid-month, but, we're approaching that and I still haven't heard anything about the spay and neutering, and I just want to make sure that I'm prepared on my end to have everything that this kitten needs to make sure the transition's okay, and just in case I can take any time off from work so I can get them adjusted to their new environment. Just let me know as soon as possible. Well, this is the email that Nathan's referring to. She just wrote back. She was like, there was no hiccup on my end, and I said mid-month.
Yeah. And that sounds like you're being short about it, but that was like legit what she emailed back. Adriana was like, oh, so you're choosing that the end of your life should be sooner than later.
Yeah, I was like, let me put my phone away before I end up being an uber bitch.
Because you also I proofread the email that you sent to her before that.
Because I didn't want to sound pushy.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no, this doesn't sound pushy. Like, you're asking for this animal. You want to be respectful and, like, get what you need done. So what can I do to be ready for the timeline? And she was just like, I didn't mess up. Nothing's changed. Wait.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
So then fast forward,
karma comes back around on your bitch ass.
Well, not really. But, like, and then she hits me up, like, 2 weeks later, and then she's, like, has a date and everything else.
Yeah.
So we're, like, oh, excited. Like, okay, we're going to pick them up and blah, 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 blah.
It's such a great part of the story.
So then she emails me separately because she had, like, a group message of, like, everybody that was adopting.
Yeah.
And she emails me separately. She's like, hi, Adrianna. Like, just want to give you a heads up. Like, in my whole time of doing this and fostering, this has never happened to me. But Clara ended up being Clarence.
And she's like, so... well, I guess he is a boy.
So she was a he.
She was like, I was looking at Clara, and then I found his testicles.
And I guess they dropped late.
And she was like, I'm not that good at sexing kittens.
She said she had never had this issue
before. In
her
Instagram post, though, she said that. She was like, I'm not the best at sexing kittens, but, like, I never messed this up, like, this late in the game, where she was like, do you have nuts? And then Clarence was like,
that happened.
Yeah, hold my beer.
So, and the thing is, too, is that I didn't know if they were siblings or whatever the cause may be, or whatever it would be. But anyway, the spay and neutering also got pushed back because of COVID.
Yeah.
So all the vets were canceling. Are you yawning on me, you asshole?
No, I'm not. Jesus.
Dang.
They don't know we're recording at 3 a.m. just to get this done for the people.
Yeah. So anyway, I forgot my train of thought now because you yawned on me.
No. Okay.
Oh,
so
the vet.
Clarence.
So the vets were canceling all of their spay and neutering.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we were getting a foster to adopt agreement, meaning that we were going to foster this kitten, and then when something became available for their spay and neutering, then we would go take them in, get them spayed and neutered, and then they would actually be ours.
Yeah, so it's like you're temporarily fostering them, but we're signing a contract saying that we are only fostering them with the intention of adopting them, and that we are the first choice for that adoption. Like,
yes.
It's already assumed that we will... Sorry, they're running out of their feet. That we will take them. Mm-hmm. But, my mom was so funny. She was like, you need to get that in writing. You need to make sure your names are on the contract. Like, don't let that shit happen where someone offers more money or something or whatever the case may be, and then they try to take them away from you. So Adrianna did all that. And then
Clara ended up being Clarence.
Yeah, Clara ended up being Clarence.
And then I was still going to go through with the adoption.
It was going to be fine.
Yeah, I was still going to go through with the adoption, not with Clarence, but with another female kitten.
Which nothing against boys. It's just not what we wanted to do.
Yeah. And on top of that, she, made it very obvious. She was like that at the age of 4 months, they can start procreating.
Yeah, procreating.
So if we didn't get them fixed or didn't have, an appointment to get them spayed and neutered at that time, then they can start getting in heat.
With each other.
Yeah, and I'm not having kittens.
Yeah.
So then we tried looking at another female, but then that female didn't get along with the other female we were going to get.
It's because the new female was too new.
Yeah, she was too new. She
wasn't even able to socialize with the other animals, so we were going to have to wait again.
Yeah.
And a big part of this is, like, Adrianna never had a cat before, and I was like, okay, she wants to have some animal, like she's down to have cats, cool.
Yeah.
But I agree, and we can get to this a little bit later, is that the importance of getting them when they're so young, because it changes your perspective on it. Like, you are their mother, you're their caretaker, they love you, they want to be with you. The older and older and older that they get, the less and less and less you get that kitten time, which I know for you love, Adrianna wants every animal to be this big
size
for the rest of their entire life and never grow up and always be small, SMOL, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I was like, if we're gonna get these cats later and later and later, they're never going to be
cancel
kittens.
it. So we canceled it.
Yeah.
Something about it just didn't feel right.
It was very cute. She was very upset. You were so upset. I was like, it's okay, we'll find more. And she's like, I did this whole freaking application for 2 hours trying to get these cats just because she finds Clarence. Because Clara's fucking Clarence. So then, wait, so
just so mad.
To fast forward a little bit, then we get the cats, and she's like, pick them up, I'm checking for their nuts. Yo, poor friggin' Matcha and Pika. They spent the first, 48 hours upside down, and she was like, do you see this here? Do you think these look like balls? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what cat
funny.
Testicles look like. She's like, you see these swirls? I was like, well, that looks like a little piece of shit. She's like, no, not the shit. They're little nut swirls. So literally we're holding both of their asses, and you're just like, I don't know. Does that look like testicles? I'm like, well, if you're flicking his balls. Like, stop doing that. She was like, I don't know. Let me Google cat vaginas and see what this. I'm like, and then literally on Google Images, the thing is, the image on cats is
this is so funny, but so true.
The difference between cat balls and cat vaginas, there's no difference. It's
there is a difference. There's a line, but then there's two little balls.
And the swirl, and then if there's no line, then it's balls. And if there's a line, then that's her vagina. I was like, really? It looks to me, because also
I can't get over how funny that is, but it's so true. I did do that.
But also, I'm like, maybe that's easier if you're looking at a cat that's like all black or all white or something like that. But ours are like multicolored with weird shapes. Like their whole body has like lines and swirls on it all over. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that swirl is their testicles and that one's the vagina?
Yeah, I went a little crazy.
So
I had a bad experience.
Adriana's
I was
like,
traumatized.
Well, we'll just catch them fucking. And if they're doing that, then we'll know one's a boy and one's a girl. I'm like, yeah, but then it's too late. Like, they already did the deed. And they'd be fertile.
Yeah.
She was like, well, we'll just start a cat ranch. I was like, I'm not starting a freaking cat ranch, bro. Heck no.
No, but basically, I mean, all of that is true. Unfortunately, I know it sounds crazy, but I did do that because I was traumatized.
You gotta know, though.
Yeah. So then what happened was I decided we were just going to cancel. So we canceled the adoption with the woman that we originally started with. Mm-hmm. And I was really upset because, once again, I'm the type of person, when I have my mind set to it, I'm getting it done.
Yes.
It's happening.
Right now.
But I think everything happens for a reason, because the day that I decided to cancel it just so happened to be my day off that all this information was brought to my attention. And I just started looking up like kittens in South Jersey that are for sale. And lo and behold, what do I find? A Craigslist ad.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I was so pissed, guys. I'll give you my perspective on this.
This sounds so bad.
It's her day off. Like,
it was a thing. Yeah, I was like, whatever. So reached out to this ad. Hey, interested in some kittens. What does your adoption process look like? And do I need to fill out an application? Blah, 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 blah.
By the way, men, if you ever say, oh, I want a strong, independent woman, you got to know this is what it comes with. Is you get the phone call in the middle of her basically she could be murdered by anyone. Like, answering a Craigslist ad on her day off. Oh, by the way, it's like raining. It's a storm. It's like...
It wasn't... Okay, it was raining, but it wasn't a storm.
It was a shitty day.
It was a shitty
day.
It was a shitty day.
So she's like, oh, okay, well, I'll go to this... Literally, I don't know how to make this more clear.
No, so basically they
reached out... It's a Craigslist ad, and you said, got cats? And they were like, yeah.
You didn't even read the ad.
She said, drop the Addy or no. And they said, bet. Sent you the address. And she's like, huh. Only an hour away, and we're at Jackson?
It was 30 minutes away. Okay. So it was 30 minutes away from this location.
She is minimizing this story. This is not how you told it to me when you said it.
So anyway, I reached out to the ad. They got back to me and texted me. Did they text me or did they email me?
They must have hit you up on Craigslist.
They texted me. Because I was like, I had to think about it.
They texted me. Yes.
So they texted me and they were like, hey, we're doing a showing today, actually, from this time to this time. I think it was like 12 to 4. If you're interested in purchasing any cats, then just please make sure that you bring a carrier with you. Or at least a blanket, so that way they're safe for their travels home. Cool. So
she said, fortunately, I already bought a kitten.
We were ready
8 weeks ago.
We were ready. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I call Nathan. I'm like, hey, Nathan, like, I'm going to go to this place because they said they're doing a kitten showing. And, I'll send you pictures if we like any of the kittens. And then we might get kittens today.
Remember that she said, oh, I'll call you. I'll show you pictures. I'll let you know. And then we'll talk about it. I'm at work.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Sounds
good. So then I drive to the location. I think I'm going to pull up to, like, an establishment. I pulled up to somebody's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, So I called the number that texted me, and I was like, hi. It was some woman.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Adrianna. You texted me, gave me this address for a showing for kittens from 12 to 4. I'm currently...
I'm going to get them out of here.
Oh, that's fine. I was like, I'm currently at the address.
Come here, people.
But I thought I was pulling up to an establishment, and this is actually a house.
Actually, does someone live here?
Oh my God, it was so bad. She was like, oh yeah, I do everything out of my house. I do this rescue, blah, 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 blah. Basically what happens is she takes cats in and dogs in that are on the verge of being killed in shelters. So I guess she took in these 2 cats and didn't know that they were pregnant and they had kittens. So I just got the balls and was like, okay. Got my little carrier and went to the front door, and as she opened it, I like peeped my head and I was like, and there was kittens right there. So I was like, okay, this is legit. This sounds so bad because I really thought about in the car. I was like, this can go so many ways. Like, is this my last day of living? Is this my last breath for some kittens? But I was like, well, YOLO, only live once. If I get abducted over some kittens, I guess it happens. So I go in there and they have a bunch of kittens in this little pen. So cute. And I look at the kitten. She has all types of kittens because, once again, they're from 2 litters. So found Pika. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like, I love her, blah, 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 blah. So I was really interested in her. And the moment I picked her up, she started crying. I should have known then because she is our crier. Mama. And then the woman was like, well, I have some more over here. Let me bring some more out. Cool. So she goes into the room to go pull more kittens out. When she comes out with 2, and then she had Matcha.
Mach, my girl.
Oh my gosh.
Love
and
her.
I fell in love because Matcha has very distinct features on her face.
She's got like the tiger feature.
Yeah, like she has like white going down and her eyes are, at that time, were blue. They just changed to green. And she was just absolutely beautiful. And then when she told me that they were sisters, I was like, yep, I'll take those 2, please.
Can you pack them up to go for me?
So I put them in the carrier, paid my dues, got their paperwork, and dipped. And that's how we got the cats.
And they've been little darling angels ever since.
Yeah, we got them at 6 weeks.
They actually really did. I mean, they acclimated, I think, very well, very quickly.
They did.
They had, I think, Matcha crapped on the floor like once, but not really many accidents.
No, they adjusted to the litter box really well.
Crazy.
Ate really well.
They're very happy animals. I will say that. They are loving.
We socialized them a lot from when they were like really, really little.
They're good with Shane and Sarah's dog.
I mean, they hiss them a little bit because I think they're territorial.
I mean, but I expect that though. Like, what are they? What are they supposed to do?
But at least they're not like trying to jump on him or like attack. They're just hissing.
No. And with people, they're amazing. Like,
with people, they're great.
You can pick them up, give them a kiss, throw them over your shoulder. Like, they're all about the interaction. If anything, it's like they're so social that it's with things like this. It's like I have to put them away because they won't just stay by themselves.
No,
like
they like
will
to
come
be with
over.
people.
They'll try to jump on anyone's lap, chest, hair, like. Everything like that.
Needless to say, I love them. I never thought I'd be a cat person, and I originally went from 1 cat to 2 cats, and
but that's what I was saying.
awesome.
Is like the fact that you got them as kittens, you've really like created a bond with them, and you love them, and they love you. You're not getting some. It's like when people interact with animals that aren't theirs, you get this perspective of dogs because dogs are just like that man's best friend type thing. They're just more. I think I read this somewhere. I know it is a true-ish thing. It's like dogs were domesticated like 10,000 years before cats. So cats are just behind in like the domestication of their species. So that's why dogs are like born with this like natural proclivity toward people, and they love people and they want to interact with people. Like that's just built into their DNA. And you see with cats like ours, where like Matcha's a dog. Like she wants to eat and run around and play with you and sleep and be on your lap and sleep and get on your head
and eat your food off your plate.
Literally jump over and
eat
like
my ice cream,
eat your tenderloin. Oh my god, anything. She'll eat anything. Pika is more like traditionally cat like. She's very social, but she's social in the way that like she can definitely sit on the couch in the middle of a party. Like that doesn't bother her. She could be around 100 people. That wouldn't scare her. But she's not like Matcha. Matcha would like walk around the room and like
pet me.
Hello. Like how
love
are you?
Me.
I'm here now.
Do you not see me?
Yeah, exactly. I think they're a happy mix and they love each other. Like oh my god. The pictures, if you guys do like follow us on Instagram, you see stuff that we post all the time. Oh my god, they're so cute. I try to not, I feel like I post them a lot. I try to not do it because I'm like, that's so annoying when you like.
It's like you're like one of those parents that like post their kids all the time.
And no one cares. Like your kid fucking ugly. Like compared to my cat. Some of these people having ugly ass kids. Like,
Nathan.
You don't think that. I think that is one of the most annoying things. When someone shows you a picture of their kid and everyone's like, oh, it's so cute. You know it's not. It's not a cute kid. We have talked about this.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know.
What's a cute kid?
But I don't want
What's
you
a cute kid? What's a cute kid?
I don't want you to keep talking shit, because then what if, like, we decide to procreate and I have an ugly ass kid?
Because
what if we have an ugly ass kid?
Because if I have an ugly kid, I would show people the picture and be like, look.
Their glow up hasn't happened yet. Nothing plastic surgery can't fix.
You know that it will happen. But like right now,
they're ugly.
He got a big ass forehead just like his dad. Like hopefully that hairline will come in, come down. Like, isn't that so annoying? I hate that shit. That like people with dogs too. Like, oh, look at the dog, he's so cute. I'm like,
and the dog has like a tooth hanging out.
Yeah, like your dog is fucking trash, bro. Like, I'm not trying to talk to your dog. Like, get that out of here. No.
Dang. That was definitely a rant.
But anyway, yeah, the cats are great.
They are great.
They're loving life.
Yes, they're so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, Matcha definitely is like. She's been acting weird little lately.
She's definitely sick. I still think she's a little bit sick now, but not really a lot of throwing up. Like, overall, they're healthy. Good. They're only good. Eat, what is it? Rachel Ray. Nutrish Delish.
They love that.
They love it. Yo, they love the wet food so much that, they don't eat the hard food. Like, that's why
I have to mix it in.
Yeah, that's why I put the hard food literally only on top of the wet food, so they must eat it. But if you gave them two choices, like, let's say they have, like, a big dinner or something, like, on the weekends, we'll give them, like, 3 meals, so breakfast, a smaller lunch, then, like, a bigger dinner or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you put, like, hard food around the wet food, like, it falls off of it, they just dip. they're like, no, not really feeling it.
No, the funniest thing that ever happened was it's normal, like it's usually Pika. Like Pika's the crier when it comes to dinner.
Yeah, she'd be bitching.
Oh my god.
You know what time it is. You would have thought I stepped on her foot.
Slaughtered her.
Yeah, or when you step on her foot and she's like, and just jumps up the wall.
Yeah, she will cry.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny because one day I just gave them hard food because it was like around lunchtime. And I'm like, I'm not giving you 2 cans of Rachel Ray again. Like, I'm not doing
spoiled.
that.
They do. They be spoiled for sure.
So then I gave them hard food to like last them over till dinner. She went to her plate, smelled it, and came back to me and started crying again.
She was like, what the fuck is this?
I was
trying to eat this right here.
I was like, you
trash.
Eat that shit. Like, what?
You bring her over like, no, this is it. She's like, no.
She walked back to me and started crying.
Yeah, she's like, no, that's not what I'm interested in. You messed up. She's like, you need to go back and get the
good stuff.
She knows where it is. That's why they stand right there. They're like, thank you.
They're so smart.
They are very smart.
Oh, they're annoying. I love them. I love them.
And it's been a big couple months. Got the cats. Mm-hmm. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary. Been together for 2 whole long, arduous. You know what that means?
No.
Years. I mean, you would have thought it's been a decade together. The way it's just been tumultuous.
Were you just not happy about it?
do you need to air something out with me right now?
No, hold on. Were you not happy? No, but yes,
we've been together for a couple of years now. Overall, like, out of 5 stars, how many stars do you give? Overall,
I don't know how many stars to give. You sound like this has been like torture.
Okay, I'm kidding. How many stars though?
4.
Yeah, I would say like 3.9.
Okay.
She's like, never mind, 3.8, bitch. No, then I'm taking back my stars. No, yeah, definitely 4 out of 5 stars, I would say. Mm-hmm. We definitely had 5-star moments, but I don't think anyone has 5-star years. Like,
no.
Unless, I don't know. Like, a 5-star year just seems unrealistic. That means, that means you didn't see them, right?
A 5-star year means you didn't see them?
Like, a 5-star year means, like...
Oh, like everything was so perfect.
Yeah, like so it was so perfect we didn't even interact with each other. You're like, what? That doesn't seem right.
I would say we definitely hit 4.
Yes. What are some of your favorite highlights of our last couple of years? I feel like there have been a lot of good highlights with us.
What are some highlights for you?
Highlights for me. Well, I think one of the best stories is when you were trying to bag me and you got me Drake tickets. And
that was like in the beginning of our relationship. Yeah. Not even a relationship. Nathan was my best friend.
That was you trying to get a holler at me. Stop playing. Are you serious? You don't buy anybody Drizzy Drake Champagne Poppy tickets if you ain't trying to get that work.
Nathan.
Don't lie.
I had got you the tickets before I got that work.
Right, but you had the intention of getting me those tickets as your ticket to that work.
No, not really.
Lies. Do not lie on the podcast.
I'm not lying.
Do not lie.
Listen, it just was a point where we were working like crazy.
She's like,
we
I need
were
a
working
man.
like dogs.
I'm buying these tickets.
Nathan and I were really vibing.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, I really want to go see this concert. And Nathan and I had been talking about Drake because that's when he had Migos had just dropped their album and everything else.
Yeah. And it was in the middle of the Drake Meek Mill beef. Like, yeah. It was a whole thing.
So, and we talked about that. So I was like, well, I'm spoiling myself to some tickets. Who do I know that would like to go with me?
Who I'm not interested in being with in any sort of relation, just as a friend and not spending any time with them in addition. Liar. Lying liar who lies. Lies.
Regardless of the fact of whoever you believe, we went to Drake.
All you need to know is I got a call from Adrianna that day that something was going on at work. She needed me to come in and help or something.
Yeah, because it was at your store.
And it was whatever. And it was my day off, or I was going to come in later, but I came in early just to help her. So listen, already off rip, you already know she coming for that heat, bro. All right? So I said, all right.
I always
I'm going to
feel
pull
like
up
it's
on you,
interesting.
make you my John.
Your insights to this.
I'm going to pull up on you, make you my John. Say no more.
No, that's such a lie. Nathan literally told me 3 times
listen, this is my
that
highlight.
we would never be together.
Listen, this is my highlight. So this is a 5-star moment for me. And you're trying to bring it all the way down to you be a 2-star hoe. What you want?
I'll be the 2-star. You're
not a damn 2-star. Listen. So the 5-star moment. So I pull up. I'm like, Adrianna, fuck you won't. She said, I need help with these papers. I said, oh, you did not call me in here earlier so you can help me with these papers. No, Nathan, come on. Listen to me. I need to... That's what she sounds like when she's annoying. So I was like, all right, give me the papers. Here, look through these. I'm like, okay, I'm really fucking pissed. I'm sitting here I came here early for what? So you can hand me some stack of papers. Go through, bing, 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 bing. And she's looking at me. I'm like, yo, why are you looking at me? Am I, is this about to be a mob? What's happening? Then I get to the very end and she gets on me about this because it was not clear. The paper that I looked at, it was like a printout of the Ticketmaster.
It said confirmation.
That was the second paper. The first one was a paper of Drake and Migos at the Wells Fargo Center, and it was 3 days later or whatever it was. And I was
it was a week later.
Yeah, it was pretty close. And I was like, oh, cool, Drake and Migos. Do you want to go? And I was I didn't understand. I'm like, are you asking me to get us tickets to this? I was like, you're not even my girl. What is going on? And then she's like, flip the page. Flip the page. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm down to go. Flip the page. I'm like, all right, let me flip this damn page. And then it was oh shit, 2 tickets to the Drake and Migos. I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. Yeah, of course I'll go. I'm your man. We together or no? What's going on? And I was like, and she's
so embarrassing.
Oh my God, did you really just look at those papers for 5 whole minutes and not know that I was buying you tickets? I was like, Adrianna, I didn't come in here expecting to be oh, well, if I'm coming in early, you're taking me to the Drake concert. That wasn't in my mind as oh, the only logical explanation is I should be getting something out of this. So then she's like, yes, do you want to go? Da-da-da. I said, oh my God, I'm wifed. So our relationship started there.
Is that when our relationship started for you?
For me, not officially, not you're my girlfriend, but accepting those tickets and moving in that direction, I was definitely okay, I'm under the impression now where I have to be cognizant of the fact that you have made this very nice big gesture toward me, and if I accept this, it's because I want to move in the similar direction. Like, I didn't know exactly how you were feeling. You were still kind of new to me at that point, where we had been working together. I knew you were very, very, very nice and kind and sympathetic and empathetic. I didn't know that translated into me going to a poppin' ass concert. So I was like, oh, bet I'll be your friend, like boyfriend, whatever, like, you know, so, whatever.
You took it like way back to the beginning.
So that was one of the first things for me. So we go to the concert. It's incredible. Adriana's
obliterated
blitzed,
drunk.
Bro. Blitzed. We can't get, you still got to keep a job. So we got to go. But literally,
like,
so hold on. But this is not a dramatic part of the story. This is real. So throughout this is the thing that Adrianna learned about me. And like, I guess most people do know about me. I love hip hop. I love rap music. Like music in general, but I'm about my bars. So the Drake concert's happening, and like we're together. Adriana's bodied, and I'm like, all right, well, one of us has to stay sober. So for me, I'm on stage right now. I'm performing. This is my time. This is my time.
Perform.
Everybody here for me, and Adrianna can attest to this. I'm literally going so hard rapping these bars. There are these like dudes around us who are videotaping me rapping. And I'm like with the hand motions, everything like that going in. Meanwhile, Adrianna.
I was not asleep, like, but I was watching him. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, bad and bougie. Yeah, bad and bougie. I'm like, is that the only song you know? She was like, yeah. What other song? She said, what other songs do the Migos have?
Shut up.
What do you mean, what other songs?
That is not true.
Concert? But anyway.
You literally elaborate so much on some of these stories.
So exaggerate. So I'm going all out. Like, this is my made MTV moment to shine. Mm-hmm. And he brings Meek Mill out. Swear, I almost rip my shirt off and swan dive off the balcony. I'm like, this is the most fucking insane shit I've ever been to.
That's when they pieced up their beef.
Oh, he had just patched it up in Boston the night before. But then we were in Philly. So I was like, yo, they just did this in Boston. Like, he's got to bring Meek out in Philadelphia. So Dreams and Nightmares comes out. Everyone's, rock hard. It's insane. And after that, she was like, okay, I know he's crazy, but I took care of you that night. We walked probably a mile to get an Uber. Because that Drake concert was insane how expensive those Ubers were.
It was $100 to get over.
No, it was $125 to get home 30 minutes back to Jersey. So I was like, well, we'll walk a little bit farther. And I got it down to $80. I was like, this wasn't even worth it. I had to spend that last hour walking away from here. But for me, starting off one of my first moments with you, it was that the Drake concert was definitely an awesome time. For sure.
That was nice.
You better come back with a nice one. What you mean?
What do I always do? I don't know.
You don't have are you serious? You don't have a nice idea of anything?
Well, this is the thing though. I can't go back to the actual beginning. Nathan was always nice.
In the last 2 years, what's one of your favorite moments together? That's still one of my favorite memories, for sure.
Really?
It was so cool. It was an amazing concert.
I'm really
with an awesome moment at the concert that was special. And then it was also one of the first times I got to see you just kind of go off the rails. And I still liked you. Everyone, that's a big thing. You can like someone, but then if they're really drunk or something and they turn into this other person and you're like, oh.
I don't think I'm that person.
Don't want to be with her. That's what I'm saying. You're not that person. So I was like, oh, okay. I also like her when she's really, really drunk. And I didn't have to be. And we still had a good time. And I got to be nutty about the music and enjoy that. And you got to bad and bougie. And that was it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Let me go into my archives.
I know you have way more memories than me.
I do. My
memory is cans.
I think for me, a turning moment, a 5-star moment for me is Nathan's very supportive. Overly supportive. My cheerleader. In everything.
That's right.
So I remember...
Support your woman 2020.
Stupid. So the funny thing is that Nathan and I were not together for
She's like, he was my man, but I was still in these streets, but I had a man. That's how you feel about it, for sure.
No, like Nathan and I had so many conversations where he was like, we're never going to be together. Like, this is cool, but we're never going to be together.
That needs so much more context, but fine.
It's because we work together.
Yes.
You don't mix business and pleasure, which I definitely agree.
Yes.
But it just didn't happen.
As long as everyone understands that, that's why I was saying that. Which, by the way, I was saying that and lying to myself because I was still with you all the time, giving you kisses, da-da-da. Yeah. So, whatever.
Want that sweet ass.
All right, go. What's your 5-star moment? I'm curious.
I was in my last semester of school, and I was fucking borderline failing the one class I needed to graduate. Like, borderline failing. And I was so upset, and I was like thinking about what I had to do because I knew I was gonna have to cut back my hours from work and really focus on this to just get me through this time. But like, he like supported like everything that like I needed. And it was the one day that you wanted to hang out with me and I wanted to hang out with you, but I had a paper due. So we went to my dad's house and I was in the living room doing the paper. And instead of like Nathan just sitting with me doing it, which is completely freaking boring. Like, who wants to do that while I'm writing a paper personally? I just thought it was cute that he wanted to be with me. He left me to go hang out with my dad.
This is your 5-star story?
Yes.
I ditched you to get drunk with your dad?
So, like, Nathan you were still like really new to my family. And my family and your family are very different.
You think that?
Like, I think they have, like, the way that they love us is very similar, but, like, the way that they live their lives is very different. So, what I remember is he left me to go hang out with my dad and his friends and get obliterated drunk. And for me, it just meant a lot because not only were you there to support me, but, like, you showed an interest in my family.
And more that we went through all that, and me and your dad came out as, like, boys.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, oh, that could have gone downhill fast.
Very fast. Yeah. I mean, my dad was completely drunk, and his friends in the garage were completely drunk.
They're all awesome.
They were literally shooting. You have to think about it, though. They were literally like, what? 45 to 50-year-olds shooting a freaking music video in a car with the doors open.
Was that night?
Yes. The doors open.
And I had the camera, but I was also playing the music too. They were like, yo, Nathan, play something. And then I played I didn't even play anything that was like throwback. It was like The Game. It was something definitely like pretty LA gangster rap, like a deep cut. And they were like, what you know about this? And even her dad's best friend, who's a white dude, is not traditionally in the sense of white, like.
Okay, the best way. Okay, if anybody's ever watched
I don't know
Power,
how to say this in the right way.
Do you know?
Oh yes,
Tommy.
He is Tommy.
He's Tommy.
Yeah, he's Tommy.
Like,
he's
every sense of Tommy.
Yep.
That's him.
No fucking around.
Best way to put it.
Legit, the real deal. So, which I love all those dudes. That was the first night where we like all hung out. I was like, I had a great time. She was like, I'm mentally exhausted from writing this. I was like, oh. Damn, right, you've been writing this paper for 6 hours. I'm off the fucking hen. Let's go.
But, like, I think that was like the introduction of, like, my dad loving you.
Yeah, which is definitely
5-star moment, because I'm a daddy's girl.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel that way as well. Like, once my mom met you and she was like, oh, this is, like, a very good person, like a healthy person. That's what we like to see for both of you. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Definitely sounds like a good opportunity.
Oh, you know what another 5-star moment is? Oh, I know you have. We just talked about this the other day. So my dad, he's in a serious relationship now, but
yeah,
prior to that, he was with this woman, and my dad likes to go on dates like with me, and you know, he has to include his partner because as another woman, like, they want to be included, which is fine. So we went to that Mexican restaurant.
Oh my God. Why are all these moments about me? These are none of me in my best moments at all.
This
none
is a 5-star moment. My dad, his girlfriend, Nathan, and I got so trashed at this Mexican restaurant.
Listen, once again,
we spent so much money on alcohol. He gave us free Henny shots.
All these stories need context. Okay?
Give the context.
The reason it got out of control is because we went to this Mexican restaurant. We were all eating this food. It was great. We had like a couple beers, whatever. It's very normal.
No, we had margaritas.
We had a margarita to start.
But like strong margaritas.
No, it's because she
ordered
can't say her name. Margaritas.
But she is like top of the line.
No, she was like, no, it's not the house margarita. She was like, I want 1,800.
Yep.
She wanted like double 1,800 and like all this other like liqueur, like sweet liquor. She custom was making. Each one of these margaritas had to have cost like $15.
And we had like 2 to 3 each.
It was a lot. And I was like, I mean, okay, sure. Like if that's what you want to do, I mean, I'm down. And we had the one. And then after the one, I was like, okay, I mean, I'm definitely not sober anymore, but like you're also eating Mexican food. So we were eating a lot of chips and guac and things in the middle of the meal. And then she wants to be nice and she order another round. I'm like, okay, I'm good for 2 for sure. Like that's fine. But then it was like a third one that came around and I was like, hey.
And then we had shots of Henny before we left.
And then I was drunk. We wanted to go to the bar after.
No, you wanted to go to the bar.
I was like, I want to see my friends and I want to go have fun. And then, so we went there after and there was this whole nonsense. But regardless, what I think
that was a 5-star moment, though.
All these 5-star moments to say are, one, you definitely learn a lot about someone when they're
obliterated,
plastered. And you still like who that person is.
Yes.
Because you know that, especially with us, like, I definitely like the sauce more than you, for sure. But you're not turning into a bad person. You're not turning into someone who doesn't care. Like, if anything, you're just still attentive. Maybe you don't want to drive, but you're still a loving, kind, care person. Okay. Like, all right, this is fine. This is fair. I like this. And for me, that was you in that moment at Drake, and that was at me in preferably both of those moments. But a lot of like the 5-star moments that we had also just involved a lot of us just hanging out with our families, very mundane things, regular opportunities, me leaving a job to get a new job, to find a new place, a lot of compromising. It's really more adult stuff that I think a lot of times people would walk away in those moments because, you start to lose those butterflies and whatever they may be. But I think it's been a fast 2 years, man. Very fast.
It has.
Very fast.
I'm already planning our third.
Yeah. And I think that it's...
Such a planner.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going well. Aww, I think.
Yeah, I still like you.
Yeah. Well, I think people joke about that, but that is what it is at the end of the day. It's like, people break up with people all the time and they still love them, but they don't like them anymore. It's like, I love you because we've spent so much time together. I know you. I understand enough of your world to where I can have compassion toward you as a person, but I don't like you anymore. Like, do you feel that that difference? It's like, even with your exes who did you wrong, it's like, there's still a piece of you where it's like, hey, I'll always love you. Like, you took a piece of my life with you. We spent this time together. You're a dickhead.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't wish bad upon you.
Yeah,
it's like
I agree
different.
with that.
And I feel like that about literally anyone who's been in my life. But I've never been with someone as long as you where I still like you at this point. And liking is different. It's like, after this, the best Saturday night that we're going to have, which I truly do love and appreciate, is we'll cook dinner whenever we want. Mm-hmm. You're going to do your crafts and make your stuff.
Oh, I'm so into crafting
I'm probably
right
going to
now.
watch a podcast that you think is stupid. Or
that annoys me.
Or watch a movie in a foreign language that you can't follow. Play with the cats. Like, to me, the biggest part about my relationship with you is that there are always things that we can work on because there's always things that, you as partners want from each other, and that always changes. But it's very easy to relax with each other. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that? Like, there's never a thought where I'm like, oh, I had a hard day and I'm going to have to come home and please her in some way. Like, we can both come home and be like, hey, I'm fucking tired.
Don't really feel like talking to you.
Yeah, and I think I'm done for the day. Like,
and I'm like, okay.
Let's just order a pizza.
Goodbye.
Sit down. I'll give you a kiss goodnight. Or I'm going to bed now. And it's not personal.
Oh, yeah. I don't get offended.
Right. You don't get offended. And that's a very adult thing, I think, for younger couples to have. Where it's like,
no, because there's days I come home and I'm just like...
a full day without you most days. Like, most of our days, we're on vacation right now. But, like, most days you don't have that.
No. Yeah, because, like, our jobs are just so demanding. So, like, there's times I come home and I'm like, no.
Yes.
Your face is annoying me. Your voice is annoying me.
Done.
Your life is annoying me. Yes. I gotta go.
Yes. But
I still
overall,
like him.
Into year 2, we've officially got fur babies. I think the apartment's doing great.
Yeah.
We're working on it all the time.
Especially this past week.
My best friend moved right in down the hall, and you're becoming best friends with him and her. You and Sarah are awesome. They've got a puppy. Sarah. We've got kittens. And I think, realistically, there's not much more to ask for.
I know. I really do love Sarah.
Yeah. She's great. He's great. It's awesome.
I know, but Shane's like your friend. Like, yeah, Shane's like your friend. That's like, so I get Sarah.
I was like...
She's so sweet. I love her. Mm-hmm. Genuinely.
Yes. And the Wi-Fi on my computer's still not working. I'm fucking lose my shit. But anyway.
So other than that, like, what's really, like, going on? So Nathan's now expanding his pod.
Am I expanding my pod?
Yeah, you're getting more mics to try to get more people and to do more interviews and.
I mean, it's so much money to get like a video camera that records for hours on end. It's like thousands of dollars.
Oh, that's crazy! And I know that you want to get it. You want to get more cameras anyway.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to who was it? Chris, maybe, or someone else? I forget. But I was just like, oh no, Kim. Kim was over here the other night. Our friend Kim. And we were just talking about like what it takes to like put up a podcast. I was like, to anyone listening to this who wants to do this, truly, this is the easiest pop-up thing to do ever. If you do not want to do a video aspect, as soon as you bring video into it, it's a part-time job.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely hard.
It literally takes me, you watch me, it takes me 3 days.
Yeah, to do an edit.
Between working, like, to come home, to export the podcast, sync the audio, watch the podcast, edit the podcast, just so the audio version I feel like is more expected, where people are like, okay, this is free form, whatever happens. Mm-hmm. But if you're watching it on YouTube, like, I want it to flow to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'm not editing out pieces of the conversation, but anywhere where I need to re-edit pieces of the video with this, like, I'm always trying to be like aware of that.
Yeah.
So but if you want to do the video aspect of it, though, I'm like, yeah, I mean,
I feel like I engage more with video. Like,
and
being
that's
personal.
Me too. Yeah, but like Kim was saying, she listens to a lot of it. And that's important to know. It's like that episode with Chris just hit 100 views on YouTube.
Yay!
But there's still like 20 people that listen to it.
That's good.
Just on there. Yeah. I'm like, that's the thing, is where the audio, all you need is a mic and a computer.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, you can have headphones if you want, just because I think the people that I've had on here and you, I like to be able to hear my voice in my head, so you know if you're like really far away or you're too close or whatever.
Yeah.
But as soon as you need the video, you need lighting, you need a video camera, you need video editing software.
Yeah.
And time.
It's a lot.
And all of that. I mean, it's over thousands of dollars. I mean, all of these.
Luckily for you.
And I have the hookup with Target on these. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and luckily for you, I let you do you when you go into your editing mode, because I do my own thing. So yeah,
that's the thing. And then when you want to edit, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours of watching the podcast, hours of breaking it down. There's a lot that goes into it. When people see it online and they see clips, it's like, you realize those people are paying people to do that for you. Like, yeah, if I could pay someone to do this, I absolutely would, but there's no point.
You're like, I would podcast every day.
Yeah, because it's a hobby, right? That's how Joe Rogan can do a podcast every day, because all he has to do is show up, be Joe Rogan, interview someone, and go home, come back, and do it again.
Here's my product.
Yeah, and here's the product. But yes, with the podcast, just got this table, which I think in here, don't you feel like it's a little more spacious? For
It
sure.
is actually. It feels more spacious.
Because before we used to be like this close, or you couldn't even have your legs open over there.
No, I
People
couldn't.
don't even realize that. But the table is perfect height. I
Yeah.
think. Throwing a drop cloth over it's great. The 2 microphones, I just got another 2 microphones.
Yeah.
Adapters and stuff just for like the cable management.
It's definitely an expensive hobby.
We both have really expensive hobbies.
We have expensive taste.
But it's because like, hey, work hard, play hard. And that's
true,
why
too.
I want like that camera. The other camera I have is too old. It only has 20 minutes of video
Really?
that it can do. Yeah, that's it. So it has 180 minutes worth of battery, but it only has 20 minutes worth of video, which now that I'm thinking about it, is my fault. I can go buy another terabyte thing in there, and then it can hold more. So that's what I should go do. But the quality on that is going to be balls compared to this. So that's why I'm like, I would love to have a multi-camera setup because I love having like the one-on-one.
Well, Christmas is coming up soon, guys.
God, that's a lot of money. But the Cricut too. Like with you,
yeah,
you've been
so
redoing
iCricket.
everything. You got to check. I definitely want to post more stuff on your Etsy, which is Bendito Cheeto, BENDITO
Did you really make it that?
CHEETO.
This is my manager, guys, so I didn't set up the Etsy.
Yes. She is so talented. You do all this stuff on there. Like, I do really feel like if you're... The trend of that is so strong. Like, people are looking to buy stuff off there all the time. And just off your Instagram alone, there's definitely a lot of potential to work on that. You put so much time and effort into it.
I know, but I do it for, like, us. Like, I do it for things around the house. And I just like making custom things.
But people would buy it, though. For sure.
I just like making custom things that... I know what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know what I want, and sometimes you just can't always find that.
Mm-hmm.
I also like to make things that you just can't buy in a store.
But you're also like an active rester, which I get that too, but you do like physical things. For me, I'm an active rester in the sense like, yeah, I love to do this, edit it, watch it, like have that be my time. But you're like, let's stain this and break this down and rebuild it and edit it. I'm like... I'm sweating. I don't want to do this anymore. But
that is
it's
me.
all been coming out beautifully, and the apartment is looking awesome just in time for us to move.
What do you mean, time for us to move?
By the time we get this apartment to look the way we want next year, we'll probably be looking for a house or something like that.
Oh, guys, this is the first time Nathan's ever said this. I'm kind of excited.
I think so. Probably.
I mean, I think that, like, the next step... we took a big step living together.
Does it bother you that I, like, would want to get a house before we get married?
No.
That doesn't bother you? Like,
No.
the commitment is there. It's just that, like, the getting married thing for me is so, like, okay, cool.
That doesn't bother me.
Let's do that.
Mm-mm.
Because I'm like, if your
We're already
finances are in check...
We're already living together.
Yeah, I know.
So, like,
I
that
just,
doesn't
I want
bother
the
me.
space with you. Yeah, it's like, I just want to keep dating you and enjoying you this way. It's not like I'm dating you and enjoying you saying, like, oh, well, this is my, like, get out of jail free card.
I mean,
I'm
the
like,
way that I
bro,
see
if I'm
it...
co-signing on a fucking house with you, you don't just break up and leave each other. What are you talking about?
The way that I personally see it is I just have an invisible ring on. Like, I'm engaged. It's just invisible and nobody sees it, but I'm engaged.
Right, but you have that, like, you have that commitment to each other. I think that's great. And for me, you always ask me, like, oh, well, how much time is it? It's like, my parents dated for such a long time.
But they also met when they were 18.
Yes, and that's my thing. I'm like, yo, times change, bro. Like, no. But I think, like, a strong 3 years with someone, to me, I'm like, okay, this is definitely great. So we should move on to the next level. But for me, the little things are, like, even just having cats.
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying. We've done a lot.
What does that do to your relationship over the year?
We moved in together. Now we have fur babies together. Like, those are
we both have
huge
hobbies
things
that we're both pursuing. We're both working full-time jobs.
Yep.
Splitting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what else really is there into, like, the marriage aspect other than, like,
a contract,
the paperwork of it, and better for our taxes?
Yeah. That's really it.
Which all that is, that's all cool. I mean,
I always believe that
like,
you don't need
mitigate that.
You don't need to get married to share a life with somebody.
Yeah, and also knowing that, like, my intentions are pure in the long run, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard. because I feel like it's weird in both of our perspectives. Like my best friend and your best friends, both your girlfriends and my like best friend with Shane, is like they both met the people they wanted to be with, know it instantly, boom, get married, ready to go. Like they're just ready for that commitment and bang, bang, bang. And that's nothing.
Like my best friend met her husband and 6 months later bought a house together.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later were engaged.
Which like
and a
shout
year
out
later
to that.
married.
Shout out to that.
And pregnant during her
But
her
that
wedding.
doesn't make me feel comfortable. Like I want to still enjoy the experience of it. And for me, I think there have definitely been several moments in the last couple of years where it's like, okay, we need to have a real talk about this. Like, we're evaluating each other constantly. And I don't want to escalate that and push it because maybe those people in our life are super, super certain. But I tell you this all the time. I'm like, I'm not that confident about anything.
And I mean,
like, at all.
I
want my time to get to just talk with you and be
like,
who you want to be and be who I want to be.
I've also been like a strong believer, like you don't have to be married to be committed to somebody. I think that society just plays a role in where you think that you should be in your life because I'm older than you by 3 years. And even though it's 3 years, like people that are my age are getting married and having kids and doing those things. And I've always just been, out of all my friends, everybody I know, they're married, engaged, kids, like, and sometimes like I do like naturally just sit back and reflect and like, okay, like I'm with somebody I love, I'm with somebody who I care about, this could potentially happen for me, but it's just not going to happen when everybody else is doing it right now.
But what's the issue with the timeline? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're living off of someone else's timeline.
But like you just can't help but compare yourself to where you think you should be in comparison to everyone else who's around your age.
I guess.
And sometimes I do that, like just naturally, like I do that. But then I also have to be like the type of person to sit back and be like, I don't really need that right now.
But also, like, are those people that happy? I don't know.
Like realistically, like, you know, in their actual
like
everyday.
you can commit
from what they're putting out.
Yeah, you can commit super fast when you meet someone, and that's all good, great. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like I don't know what else to. I don't know. I have conflicting opinions about it.
That's fine, but needless to say, I don't mind moving in before we get married.
Yes, and needless to say, I'm definitely interested in looking at homes because I think that the life we live in here is already so full. We can definitely use a house. For sure. Eventually.
This makes me really excited.
Yes. But guys, you have to understand the reason that I don't want to like go full out is because I know that as soon as I'm like, hey, you know what if we broke the lease and just started to look for houses? She'd be like, oh great, have 17 listings scheduled for tomorrow. I already put in your vacation time for you, don't worry. I'd be like, oh, so I was thinking like in the next year. She's like, yeah, the year, or we can close tomorrow on this house. And I'm like, where'd you find that? I got my realtor's license last night. Don't you have to study for that for a year? Did it all overnight.
Rush course.
A little aggressive, okay? We can just relax.
I am
Maybe
your
talk
realtor.
about what we want. She's like, already know your preferences. Really?
Fireplace.
And then she's like, yes, backyard, pool, garage.
Fireplace.
Fireplace, basement. I was like, what about you? She's like, oh, need a closet.
Closet. Hardwood floors.
Yeah, hers like closet hardwood floors need to be in this zip code for this here. I'm like, oh, a little more specific. She's like, I don't think it's too much to ask. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's so cool.
We're also like crazy people. Like we go on walks when it's not scorching outside because a bitch don't sweat. I glisten. Like I'm a glazed donut.
I'm a glazed donut.
I'm not doing that shit.
You can find me at the what's that donut place called? Krispy Kreme.
Good donuts. Anyway, no, Duck Donuts are really good. We should go there.
Oh yeah, never been there.
Oh, we should go there tomorrow.
Wait, as a side note, and you dyed your hair blonde. Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm a blonde.
It's like, oh my god, an hour in, I need to talk about it. You just retoned to get that brass out, honey, because we can't have brass.
You're so annoying.
I guess.
Now I'm officially a blonde for right now, which is crazy.
Blondes have more fun.
I felt like I had to spice up our relationship.
I saw a tweet like that too. It's like, oh, my man is so lucky he gets to date 3 versions of me. Straight hair, curly hair, braids, fishtail, like, oh.
You're blessed.
He doesn't get to change his hair at all. I'm with the same guy all the time. I'm like, oh my God, okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm a blonde. No, but needless to say, like, I think we definitely look at houses, so we definitely understand, like, what each other is looking for and, like, where we are willing, like, to compromise. I don't even mind, like, getting, like, not like a completely, like run down
she's like,
home.
I'll get a 5-bedroom, 4-bath starter home.
No, I was saying, I don't mind getting, like, a house that needs work, as long as the bones are really good.
Yeah. I guess it depends. I'm not handy. Like,
you're not, but I am.
It is what it is. Yeah, and I mean, I'm definitely a good helper, I think. Like, as long as you understand what you want to do, I can follow your lead. I know what I like and what I don't like.
I just have visions. Like, I can, like, look at a room and, like, completely see it in my head, completely
Yeah, for me,
done.
it's definitely, like, piece by piece. I'm like, oh, I gotta see
No, like, I can look at a room and, like, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yes. Already done in my mind.
Yeah, and I just have to go execute.
That's
me.
When the killer instinct comes in and I'm just ready to kill. I'm like, oh.
Nathan just follows my lead because I was like, you don't see my vision. And then
I'm like, you're right. I don't see your vision. I don't know what this is.
And then when it's done, oh, it's beautiful, babe. Thank you.
You're right.
I know. You didn't believe in me.
But, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll all be good. For sure.
I think that's pretty much it, though. It's nice to be back.
Adrianna asked to come back on the podcast. She's like, oh, are we going to do a podcast? I said, are you serious, bro? I've been trying to get you on a podcast every day for 2 months.
I just tired.
I'm not feeling it right now, and I got to do this and do that. I said, that's what I hear.
Because I feel like I've been investing in my own crafting. Like, I've been really investing in my hobby.
But I was like, yo,
just
you gotta
like
understand,
you've been investing in your hobby.
People love you. They need more of the Adrianna. Mami.
You can't give them my alter ego.
Mami? Anyway, I think it's been a blast.
Yeah. It's always nice to sit down and talk to you.
A tremendous amount.
Love you too.
And stay updated. Instagram, Twitter, Ellis1994, Adrianna Mendez, 2 Z's ho.
92.
Throw a double Z on that ho. Anything else you need to say?
You missed the 92.
Oh. Adrianna Mendez, 2 Z's, 1992.
No, it's just 92.
Oh, 92.
Oh my God, you're horrible.
Jesus, I don't know. I just got Face ID put on your phone and my phone.
You put your Face ID on my phone?
Yeah, duh. What you think? You about to have Face ID on mine? Girl.
See that? He picks up my phone and I don't even know.
All your shit.
That's fine. I don't hide anything anyway.
But yes, fur babies are great. We'll keep you guys updated.
It's time for Din Din.
Love you. Until the next time, we making skirt steak?
Yeah. No, we're making flank.
We're making flank steak with what? Rice, peppers, and onions? Mm-hmm. I think we should make it on the wok tonight. I want to wok, like, let's do fried rice.
Okay.
Oh, God, yes.
I gotta make the rice now.
I'm ready to get nasty.
All right, it's time to go.
Okay.
It's time to go. Goodbye.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Oh, missed it. Oh, missed it.
You're so